flex me a bag body. So, it's another one, yeah. It's a full strand, yeah. Oh, it's another one, yeah.
Good evening. Welcome to iBoxingHub. Remember, guys, if you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe. I go by the name of Biyenge, featuring yours Truly Tre. What's good?
Yes, cuz all good. Obviously, big up to the community, big up to everyone that's tuned in, of course, and big up to the whole of the iBoxingHub family as well. We got Ra in the comments. He's saying, "Hurry up, we're right here, Ra." Obviously, big up to Green Diamond Boxing, Aisha as well. Big up to Ra, and just big up to the whole of the family and the community just for supporting what we do, because obviously we do these shows just for them, not even for us, man. So. Big up to Jams as well. Jams is obviously saying big up Biyenge and Trey. Big up to you, Jams, as well. Make sure, guys, that you're following Jams Boxing Chat. He obviously does tremendous work. So just go on his Twitter and you'll essentially get the whole scoop of everything. But cuz we obviously had a tremendous few weeks of boxing. The title of the show, you come up with the title, so I've got to give you your credit, is the 147 and the 154 divisions are getting juicy. But guys, obviously, before we get into the show, we're working in association with them, of course, and it's only right we get the promo on. Yes, obviously big up to D-Rock, big up to obviously Romney, who's obviously running the show for D-Rock. He's obviously sorted us out with tracksuits, and obviously the team as well. But cuz just before we get into the show, I literally just forgot, there was a tremendous episode yesterday. I don't know if the people got to tune into it, but it's on the channel. It's obviously one of the most popular shows on our channel. It's obviously across the way from the US to the UK. So I'm just going to play a little clip or a snippet for those that probably missed the show of what's going on, because it links to what we're talking about today.
Who do you got? Who do you got for the face of boxing? Come on, talk to me, Mr. Neutral. You know how I feel about Turkey Alice Freak, Sheik. You know what I'm saying? You know how I feel about him, Only one that can play ball with him right now is Crawford. That's the only one. But you got the top 5 guys and the pound for pound, well, the top 4 that's not messing with you.
I know it's quite rightly, as Alexander Sankey says, big up Alex, Turkey has even gone after Tim Tszyu. Turkey mother.
Crazy disrespecting Tim Tszyu, so more heart than any fighter in the last how many years. You seen that cut on his face?
Oh,
see what I'm talking about. It's very juicy. So guys, obviously big up to Palamos Music as well. He's obviously one of our most loyal fans on here. So big up to you, my brother. We appreciate you. He's obviously saying big up to Trey, big up yourselves. Glad to see you doing your thing. No, we're happy that we can do these shows for you and the rest of the people as well. But cuz obviously leads up to the show, of course. The division's getting juicy. You saw the list. You obviously sent me this, and we had a bit of a talk about the 154 division. But before we talk about the 154 division, I kind of want to know your thoughts on why you're saying that the 147 division is also kind of getting juicy as well.
Yeah, my reason why I'm saying the 147 division is getting juicy is because you've got the likes of Lopez, even though he's campaigning at 140, he's willing to challenge Boots Ennis, who's currently the IBF champion at 147, and then he wants to go up to 154, which is Crawford, which is the current is it WBA champion?
Oh yes, yes he is. Obviously, Teofimo, the takeover. I call him the lineal king because he loves to, he beats the best opponent in each division that he's been in. So if you talk about the 140 division that he's in, he obviously beat Josh Taylor, you could say the kingpin of the division, former undisputed. At obviously the divisions lower, he obviously beat Lomachenko. I know a lot of people could say, whatever, but you would have to class him as the undisputed champion, unquote, unquote, the first, but that's obviously another discussion for another day, man. But now you obviously mentioned that there could be a potential opportunity that he obviously wants to fight Crawford. We know he wants to fight Crawford, but the question is, will Crawford even entertain this as well? We obviously got Jams in a comment. Yeah, go on, cuz.
There's a possibility that, look, if Lopez is a man of his words and jumps up to and let's just say he was to beat Boots Ennis. Not that I'm saying he will, but if he was to beat Boots Ennis, I think Crawford, will accept the challenge. But at the same time, remember, the 154 division, I think some people are overlooking the likes of Tim Tszyu, Charlo, Errol Spence. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. That division at the moment, the 147/154, is a hot division. It's a serious division at the moment.
No, I definitely agree with you. You obviously
And
mentioned
not just that.
names.
Haney wants to come back. Again, we don't know. Is he going to campaign at 140 or 147?
It's true.
That's why I say the division is looking juicy.
Yeah, no, definitely, cuz, and I agree with you. You obviously mentioned, and look, we got to mention what Jams is talking about. Big up to Jams, who's obviously typed up for us the Ring Magazine 154 division ranking. So you got Crawford, you got the Dream at 154, which is Israel Madrimov. You got Sebastian Fendura. You got Virgil Ortiz. Got Tim Tszyu. Bit of a disrespect to Tim Tszyu getting him, after Virgil Ortiz. He's been at the division longer. He's just got one loss, but I'm guessing they've done that for reasons. Jams is obviously asking, cuz, I'm going to throw this over to you. Who's missing? Charlo, Errol, what's your thoughts? You got Staniosis is a tough guy at 147, as Norman Jr. And look, it's the division.
And that's what I'm saying. The thing is, what I can see happening, right? I could be wrong, but I can't see anyone unifying the 147 division or the 154. I've got a feeling they're going to mix it up. It's all about the money. It's all about the Benjamins. Do you know what I mean? So hence why I say it's a hot division, because you got to think of it. There's certain people in 147, they're going to avoid each other. And there's certain people 154, they're going to avoid each other. Lopez fighting Crawford will be his biggest paycheck.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Crawford era at the moment. Do you know what I mean? This is the Crawford era.
Yeah, that's what the wants.
Ennis fighting Crawford, again, will be his biggest paycheck. But I can't see Crawford. I can't see Crawford coming down to 147. Nah.
Yeah, same. I can't see it as well. And Jams is obviously making a very good point, which we're going to cover in a second. He's obviously saying Tim Tszyu's looking likely to be fighting, for the IBF title in October in Florida at 154 pounds. And for me, cuz, I'm not gonna lie, you know me. We've done a few shows on here about Tim Tszyu. I respect him. I respect his heritage as well. Like father, like son. Look, his dad here was the undisputed champion when he was fighting, and we've obviously seen Tim Tszyu as the son, create his own legacy by becoming champion, and he wants to become champion again. Even though for me, after that first fight with Fendura, I think that fight, arguably, you could have called that no contest. He still should be champion, but it just shows he's got a heart of a lion, a heart of a warrior, and he kept on going. And for that, he has my respect. And that's one of the reasons why I'm quite unhappy with, His Excellency. I know he's doing tremendous work in boxing right now. We love that he's bringing the fantasy fights together. But people like Tim Tszyu, proper warriors, like these are the guys that you wanna be working with, because these are the guys that are going to be giving you 150% in fight nights, man. So that's just my general thoughts about that situation in itself. Look, Palamos is saying Benjamin's no Diddy. Big up to him. And Errol has stipulated that he's coming back at 154 pounds. Cuz that's my boy. Spence, I'm always gonna back him up. And I've always kind of put a case for him that he stayed at 147 pounds for a bit too long. The car crashes kind of delayed him from moving up. And I think that the most comfortable weight for him is at 154 pounds. And you saw what he did. He came over to the ring, to the giant, and said to him, look, man, I want that title of yours, man. So as soon as you're fixed up, let's get that belt. Should he win that belt, then, you've got a potential fight with, Crawford. Could that happen? Could that fight happen? A unification bout? Crawford is ruling it out, but it could happen, cuz.
Oh no, because Errol, he's what, PBC, right?
Yep.
And the question is, would PBC want to work with Crawford again?
Ooh, that's a bit crazy. That is a bit mad. Not too sure what's happening with my co-host, of course, man. So I'm gonna just run through some of the questions that we've got here. Errol has obviously, he has stipulated, and Jams, we're just gonna cover your question here, which is Lee Wood versus Zelfa Barrett at 130 pounds in Monaco. Could be announced soon. Jams, I agree with you. I think it's going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be great energy, great vibes, and I hope we get a proper scrap in Monaco, of course. We've got Mr. Sports Entertainment back. Apologies for the
technical issue. No, what I was saying was,
what was he saying?
Would PBC want to work with Errol Spence? No, sorry, with Crawford again? Because obviously, the way I see it, they would probably want Errol to unify go through a different route before he fights Crawford again. Do you know what I mean? Because the worst thing that could happen is that, Crawford fights Errol Spence next. Let's just say that Errol's the WBC champion and Crawford's the current WBA, right? And Crawford beats him. I think, I don't know. I can't see PBC working with Crawford. I can't see it happening. I'm sorry, but I just can't see it happening. Yeah, I know Turkey will pay Spence good money, but I don't, because obviously he's contracted with PBC, so I don't know if they would want to make it happen, if they would like to make that fight happen next. Maybe down the line, but again, how long has Crawford got? Remember, he's 36.
It's true. That's what I'm saying. So that's the thing. I think the Spence fight is an option. It's not his priority, but it might get to a situation where he's not getting the Canelo fight. He's not getting, the fights that he wants. He's obviously thinking about unifying the division and potentially become undisputed at 154. So if Spence grabs one of those belts, then, they're going to have to fight eventually.
As a fan point of view, I would, at 154, because we've already seen Spence and Errol at 147, and we already know the outcome. I would want to see Crawford and Charlo at 154.
Ooh,
that's a fight that I think the build-up will be big, because it's serious beef. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and he is the original undisputed champion as well.
There you go.
He weren't beaten for that belt, so he had to obviously remove the belts. So one of the belts is
all he needs is a few warm-up fights, probably 2 warm-ups, and then challenge Crawford. But again, because he's PBC, I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a tough one. It seems like not everybody wants to work with, or certain promoters don't want to work with Turkey. I don't know why, but yeah, it's just one of them ones where it's a tough one. But then again, they have to make the fights happen. I feel that ever since Turkey got involved in boxing, yeah, we are seeing these fights happen. Do you know what I mean? Whereas before, it was hard to make these fights.
Yeah, look, damn straight BNG. I like Marl versus Bud at 154 when he's back, which is true. But and that's the magic question that I kind of wanna think about. If Charlo was to come back, is he
Mm.
coming back at 154 pounds, or is he gonna come back at fight at 160 pounds? Now we had a conversation just before going live, so you might
Yeah.
as well share it with the community as a little something that
Yeah.
might potentially
So,
happen if he's gonna fight at 160. I think that could be.
so just going back to what we was talking about. So, I watched the interview Eubank Jr. had on Sky Sports. You know, he mentioned that there's a few fights that he's willing to take. I believe in the next 12 months. Well, this year and whatever next year. He mentioned the likes of Conor Ben, Billy Joe Saunders, like unfinished business there, Canelo, and Crawford. So obviously, at the moment, Junior is campaigning at 160 and Crawford's at 154. I can't see Junior going down to 154, but then it'll be interesting. I would like to see him fight Charlo, because it'll be an interesting fight. Do you know what I mean? It'll be a big fight.
Yeah, it's true. It's just the way I kind of see it is, I think Charlo's in one of those positions where the weight at 154 pounds could be a little bit more tight. So that's why I think he's moving up. His brother's obviously been fighting at 168 pounds. But look, if Charlo does fight 160 pounds, Jabs is obviously making a good point that it would be a good fight. Him and Janubek. Can Janubek, stick behind and stay at that weight so he could do this fight? There's talks of him obviously moving up because of the weight struggles, etc. Conor Ben, Canelo, Billy Joe Saunders, Crawford, and Charlo, they will beat him. Maybe not Egg Boy, but the rest damn straight, which is true. But one of the things that I like about Eubank, man, and he's what it is in the tin, which is you'll get entertainment from him. He will bring excitement to the fights, to the build up. You've seen what he did. Remember with that whole 60% and all that stuff. Like, it was just good energy, good vibes, and we tuned in. We saw the fights with Liam Smith, and hopefully, his next fight for me as a personal fan. His next fight, he did say in the next 12 months, he wants to have two major fights in 2024. I'm hoping that one of them is for a world title, so we can, finally see, Eubank, become a more recognized champion, because obviously people don't really respect the IBO, even though the IBO championship is a legitimate world championship. But to the casuals, of course, he needs, the WBA, the WBC, the IBF, and obviously the WBO. He needs them recognized belts to be sort of, recognized as a legitimate world champion.
Yeah, but again, with Eubank Jr., remember he's a prize fighter. He's a pay-per-view fighter, so it just comes down to if the money, if it makes sense, then he'll take it. If not, then because you got to think of it. There's a lot of people who's had like over 30 bouts and have become world champion, but they're not generating the money that Eubank's generating. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you, cuz, man. And I kind of want to touch on the 147-pound division, of course. We've had, a few potential announcements. Obviously, Brian Norman Jr., because Crawford has, relinquished his belt.
Yeah.
He's obviously become full champion. You've got potential fighters. We've had Jalil Major Hackett on the show. Obviously, big up to Neutral. He obviously had an interview with him and his dad. So he's a potential, prospect that could be champion as well. So the division, is looking, I would say, juicy. It's looking juicy-esque. You've obviously got, Staniosis, of course, you've got Mario Barrios, and you've obviously got, Boots Ennis, as the IBF champion. So looking at the scope of the division, it does look quite wide open now that the belts have finally been, separated. So it just gives other people the opportunity to become champion. And I definitely believe, because he's obviously been on the channel, and I just like the energy he brings, man. Janelle Major Hackett, he's a potential world champion that I definitely believe will, create some noise in the States, man. There's a lot of good things said about him. You saw his fight against Pete Dobson as well. So it's interesting. But do you think Teofimo Lopez could fight Brian Norman Jr.? I think that could be a potential opponent if he moves up to 147 pounds. That's the question.
You know what? It could be, but judging Theo Lopez, right? He's a good fighter, but I think it's all about the money now. He wants to get that big payday, and he wants the big names.
Yeah, no, that is bad. He called out Canelo, and Canelo said, "Fuck it, let's do it." Then Eubank said, "Nah, I can't. I need a couple warm-ups." Yeah, you know what? But I kind of agree with what Eubank's saying, man. Maybe he's being more calculated with it. I know in life you've got to take the opportunities when they come to you, and I think that when people do take these opportunities, it is a risk. It is a 50-50. He could win, or it could be in a situation where, because he's not prepared long enough, it could be a bit of a waste. So maybe it's tactical moves from him. He wants to get a few fights in first, and then, go in there with Canelo. And I think if that fight was to happen here in the UK, I think it would be absolutely massive, man. So, and big up to you, Bank. If he's able to get Canelo here to the UK, cuz it's a no-brainer, man.
That'd be amazing.
Amazing. That would be big. That would be absolutely big. And Hackett versus Norman Jr. would be a real one. And Jalil and his dad said on Hard Talk, they want that fight. It makes sense. Jams, thank you so much for confirming that. And yeah, look, Jalil Major Hackett is definitely going to be someone that everyone needs to look out for. So if you haven't seen the interview on the channel, just head over to our channel, and interviews has been done by Mr. Neutral. So, cuz, excitement, man.
Yeah, there's also a potential rematch with Fraser Clark and what's his name?
Fabio Wardley.
Wardley. Yes.
Oh, yes. Look, Palamos Music saying if that happens, the 5 guys are on him. Yes. No, you know what? Let's see if we can make a big occasion, man. I'm still waiting for my ice cream from my cousins, man. So don't worry, man. Nah, man.
Ice cream for what? Who lost?
Oh, yeah. Don't worry, I'll think about it. No, I do remember it was from a fight. I think I need to think about it. I don't know if it was Ryan Garcia or it's another fight, man. I need to just double check, man. But yeah. No, I'm just excited regardless, cuz, man. It's gonna be really exciting for boxing, I think, man. Especially the 154 division. If we're gonna sort of compare which division looks juicy, in terms of the future, the 147 division looks good for the future. But as in the right now, because Crawford there has to be 154, man, because we've mentioned, quite a few of the names there, man, that are in the division. You had Virgil Ortiz. Look how Oscar De La Hoya is smiling there. That's his new golden boy.
But all right, I want to ask you a question. I saw highlights of Ortiz's fight. I wasn't really impressed. I mean, I don't know. I'm just gonna say it. Crawford beats him easily.
Oh, if that fight happens, yeah, because it looks like that's the potential next fight. It looks like that will, yeah.
Easy fight for Crawford. Yeah, I know everyone's in it for the money, but we need to the fight that I would like to see, like I said, is Tim Tszyu and Crawford.
This is why, like, I absolutely love that, cuz, man. Like, Tim Tszyu, he doesn't, for me, yeah, he doesn't get enough credit for um because whenever you talk about, second generation fighters, you've seen his dad Kostaju, become undisputed. Now he's obviously been able to create his own lane, be a champion. He's his own character as well. He's a warrior, cuz man, and he wants that fight. He even said that he wants Spence as well. He's been calling for that as well. He wants these big fights at 154 pounds. And cuz he was calling for Charlo
Time.
out for time, and then the injury happened, and that fight like Zoo, he's been screwed, man. He's been screwed. So that's why I'm not really happy with the disrespect that he's been getting, man. But Zoo did say it could be a thing where it's not him directly, but it's the people that's communicating in terms of his team with Turkey. And I think he's just got a short fuse, man. He's just saying, nah, I just can't be bothered to deal with that, man. So it is what it is. He's got his way of doing business. He's obviously bringing the fantasy fights for the fans, but I wouldn't burn bridges, especially with a second generation fighter, because it's very difficult for second generation fighters to kind of pave their own way.
Yeah,
but we've seen Zoo, he's not been living off his dad's name or nothing. He's just been doing his thing. He's been getting his fights. He's done things properly. He dominated in his country. Had a few title shots in his country, and then now, he's venturing out to the States, and I just hope that he gets his justice when he fights again. So Jams is obviously mentioning, and cuz you got to explain this to me as well. Conor Benn is back at number 3 in the IBF World Rankings. Can someone explain how? So what that means, cuz, and let me just put it out there. What that means is he's in line for a potential fight with Boots.
Boy, well, look, we all knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, we know. Eddie,
you got to think of it like, look, I don't know what's going on in the back, and I don't even know, is he allowed to fight? Well, not in the UK, but he's allowed to fight abroad, right?
Yeah. No, you know what, Palamos, I have to, man. Whatever his request is, I'll do it, man. Yeah, he doesn't always wear the robes, man. He doesn't always wear it, man. Just a little, But yeah, Cosmo, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so I don't actually. I mean, that will be one serious fight. Boots Ennis ain't no joke. I mean, we just saw his last performance. You know what I mean? So if Conor is next in line, I would say Conor needs at least 3 warm-up fights before he fights Boots Ennis, because that fight alone, I think it'll be a pay-per-view fight in America.
What?
Yeah.
What, Conor Benn and Boots Ennis?
Of course, because you got to think of it. Eddie is building up Boots. He's building him up.
But not pay-per-view worthy, though. I don't think. Not yet. Nah, not yet. I don't think.
Well, you got to think of it. Conor Benn's name
it's
in
because
the UK.
Ben is not really a name in the States, man. That's why I'm just.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It'll be more of a homecoming fight for Boots. I got a feeling like, look, if they both have 3 fights, right? Well, when I say 3 fights, 3 different opponents, right? Build up the fight. I guarantee you, it'll be pay-per-view. You're saying no, but I'm telling you, it'll be pay-per-view.
Boy, man, we just have to wait and see, man. We've seen a lot of events that shouldn't be pay-per-view, and it is pay-per-view, man. But one fight that, we have to, we got to give it its respect, man. A lot of people like to talk rubbish about him. A lot of people like to say whatever. But El Presidente, yeah, we'll pay the bucks to see a fight like this, man. And the reason why we would pay the bucks, man, is because El Presidente does what El Presidente wants, man. And the fact that he's doing the event at the same time as the UFC event as well in the Sphere, it shows you that he just doesn't care. It's Canelo's Day, it's Mexican Independence Day, and that's how much he believes in himself in terms of what he does, commercial and revenue-wise. Because, man, I think he's gonna create some noise for that for sure, man.
Not fully invested, but yeah.
Oh, you have to be invested, man. Even you got a brother Ra who, his thoughts about Canelo, man, but he said he's gonna, pay some bucks to see this fight, man. So You know, the fact
Don't
that
get me
you
wrong, I'll watch it. I'll definitely watch it. But it's just, I don't know. I just think Belanga's just forcing it. I don't know. I just think, look, everyone who gets the opportunity to fight Canelo, yeah, they're gassed. They're starstruck. I get it. They're gassed. But then it's just like, I don't know, man. I just need to. I don't know, man. Like I said, who can challenge Canelo? Who? The question is, yeah, who could potentially beat Canelo? Also, we already know, but it's just those are the fights I want to see Canelo in. You know, I get it. Yeah, he's this face of boxing. He's this and that. I understand, but as a boxing fan and casual fans, we want to see a good fight because at the moment, Canelo fighting Belanga, it's a one-sided fight. I'm not even trying to be disrespectful or nothing, but it's a one-sided fight.
Ooh, yeah, it is. But the reason why I could see why, you know, he's kind of pushing that out is because it's Puerto Rico versus Mexico.
I understand.
The Latin American market, especially across the pond, is massive, man. So you're gonna see a lot of madness on the night, man. You know, you're gonna see everyone come up. You know, Canelo enjoys watching Tank fight the other, you know, star of boxing, and I could imagine a same situation where Tank is gonna, you know, go watch Canelo, which he does, man. So yeah, let's see what happens. That even Raz saying I'll only be paying to keep him independent of Turkey. Big up to Ra, man. Ra just, he knows he doesn't want the monopolization to happen with Turkey, you know, taking over boxing. He's good for boxing, but not to just take over everything, you know, allow other people to do their thing as well. Palamos music, man, absolute jokes, man. But cuz we're obviously coming up to the end of the show, of course. Look, I just wanted to say to the community, to the people that's tuned in, big up. Thank you so much for just the energy, the vibes, just constantly supporting us as well. Tomorrow is obviously going to be Thursday, so Ra, I'm sure he's going to be talking about, you know, him paying, you know, for a Canelo fight so it can keep Turkey off, you know, his monopolization job, man. So, cuz, before we wrap up, is there anything else you want to talk about?
I'm just excited. Roll on next month, the big fight, you know, AJ and Triple D. So yeah, I'm just happy.
Ooh, can AJ do it? We'll just have to wait.
The
and
question
see.
is, can he become 3-time world champion?
Ooh, can he make history? And also, God bless Usyk, man, because he actually made it happen. You know what I mean, man? God bless Usyk, man. Absolutely.
Anyway, on that note, guys, thank you for tuning in. Have a lovely, productive week. We will be back again on Sunday. Peace and love.
Peace and love and blessings.
It's another band. All the Muslim cars now.